Can you imagine just how broke some of your favorite influencers are? Well, a big time South African influencer, let's call him Dean, is a fashion lifestyle influencer, and his lifestyle that he portrays online is lavish. He goes to places, he goes to shows, he eats great food, he travels the world, but not everything you see online is real. Dean's life is nothing like what he portrays on social media. He actually lives in a small town in Durban with his mother and little brother. But his social media persona is lavish, and he has every sense and dream that that is the life he wants to live forever. One random day, he gets a DM from another big time influencer. Let's call her Thandiwe. And she's also big. She's in the makeup beauty industry. She's also a travel blogger, and she is known to have connections, a lot of money, and to know the exact right people to speak to in the industry. She sends him a DM wanting to, catch up, meet each other, potentially do a lot of collaborations together and get to know each other. Dean takes this as a perfect opportunity. This is his chance, right? To hang out with the elites of the elite and enter into that lifestyle of his own. So he decides to talk to her, message her, hopefully date, and eventually marry into her rich family. So he messages her back, asks her on a date, and she agrees. Obviously, Dean doesn't have money of his own, so he goes around borrowing money from his friends to organize this very lavish date at the Marble restaurant. He wines and dines her, and Thandiwe feels so excited. She feels like finally somebody's treating her right, maybe not after her money. And Dean is like, this is the golden ticket to success. So eventually they start dating, and they flaunt their relationship together. They go expensive places, and everything seems to be going well. To keep up appearances, Dean ensures that everywhere he takes her, he's either borrowed money from a friend, or he's begged of a friend who has the location or the means or the car to lend it to him, and he's doing everything just to impress Thandiwe. One of the things he does is regularly borrowing or using one of his friends' Airbnb, on credit of course. And the first time he took Thandiwe there, she was like, wow, your house is nice, it just looks cool, but there's nothing personal here. Your walls are bare, I'm not seeing any family pictures or whatnot. Dean quickly brushes it off. He's like, oh, don't worry, I just don't like my face on my walls. I don't want plenty family pictures all over the place. I like my aesthetic. Dean is very much planning to marry this girl. He wants that money. Eventually, Dean proposes and she accepts. So quickly they start doing marriage planning, and things are going well. One fateful day, Thandiwe's sister, let's call her Karabo, calls Thandiwe and is like, I have something to show you. Karabo works at one of the big time banks, and she admits that just recently there has been a breach in their security, and that a hacker managed to obtain personal information about influential people in South Africa, their accounts, their account details, and how much money they have. With all of this, it's a very, very big security breach, and Karabo's bank has shut down to ensure that they can get all the information and make everybody's information secure. But she speaks to Thandiwe and goes, so Thandiwe, I want to come by your place. I want to see you. There's something I have to show you. Thandiwe says, okay, no problem, come ahead. Upon arrival, Karabo shows Thandiwe a sheet of paper. On it is the breakdown of some of the most influential people in South Africa, their names, their bank details, and their amount. On that sheet of paper, Thandiwe notices something. At the very bottom, she's seen Dean's name. But the strangest part is that his account balance has less than the equivalent of $37. Confused, Thandiwe tells Karabo that this can't be accurate. But Karabo says, no, baby girl, there is more. She shows her another account that Dean has opened at a completely different bank. And again, inside, the equivalent of less than $17. Thandiwe is confused. After Karabo leaves, she's still looking at these documents, very confused, very conflicted, because this is the same guy that's been taking her on trips, showing her different locations. He can't be essentially broke. So eventually she gets with Dean. She speaks to him and goes, babe, explain something to me. She shows him the first document. He quickly brushes it off and says, don't worry about it, it's not that deep, it's an account I don't use. But Thandiwe says, well, okay, but there are 3 other accounts with your name and they're all less than $50. or at least the equivalent. So what is it? At this point, Dean is like, you know what? It's fine. Let me just tell you the truth. I'm poor. I don't have money. I'm actually in debt to more than just these bank accounts. I'm actually in debt to people. She's like, I don't understand. You've been taking me places. You've been showing me things, even where you live. He's like, no. The place is an Airbnb. It belongs to a friend of mine. He lets me borrow it. The places I've taken you, I've either coerced somebody to give it to me for free, or I've borrowed money to pay for it. None of it is real. But fear not, I'm going to marry you. And I mean, you're rich. We will both be rich, and everything of this will be real, and I'll be able to pay back my debt. Then he looks to him and goes, that ain't gonna work. He goes, why? Don't you want to marry me anymore? Was it only for money? Did you want my money? She goes, look, I don't want to marry you because you want to steal my money. I have less money than you. I am more broke than you. I thought you had money. I was hoping you would help me afford the lifestyle I want to wish. You've been showing me you have it. Obviously, that was not the case, and that was not going to happen. So quietly, the two of them decided to break up. They didn't say a word to anybody and parted ways. Of course, on social media, everybody was asking questions. What happened? What happened? What happened? Both of them said nothing. No one will know of their embarrassment. The two big-time influencers were both just as broke as each other. Until now, the general public has no idea why these two famous people broke up. And quite frankly, they don't want you to know. That's all I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to follow us at Entangled Web Stories on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And I'll catch you in another video.